right, ladies and gentle of the men. I don't know why I said it like that. Just ladies and gentlemen. Hey, welcome back to another great episode. Hold on, let me fix my screen. See, I try to always make sure you see like Bob Marley if you see right there, but then you can also see, Nelson Mandela. But there's more people, but it's like I got like a lot of junk on that table. So I just want you to see like this. There we go. Perfect, people, perfect. All right, now I can get it going on with the show. After we're like what? 5 minutes already in. Damn, Arrington, you gotta do better. You gotta do better. Look, welcome back. Welcome to another great episode of the Arrington Gavin show. That's right. This is the show where we discuss trending news and thought-provoking discussions from the fields of politics, sports, pop culture, and really just so much more. We talk a little bit about everything. This is episode, I believe, 101. That's right, 101. Last episode it was funny because it was episode 100 and I was recording it from the home studio, aka the closet. But it was okay. It was still a good celebration. It was episode 100. I had a beer in my hand, man. It was dope. I was planning on doing like a big special shindig, but yeah, the weekend happened and I had to help my nephew unpack. He finished his sophomore year over at Old Dominion University, so it's like, hey, he called me last minute. He's like, hey, Uncle AJ, can you help me? I'm like, sure. And I just forgot. But don't worry, we're gonna do a big show eventually celebrating all that, episodes that we've been doing and stuff. And I just want to again thank you all for those who continue to support the show. Man, we're continuing to grow. We're grassroots, we're independent. Let's see. I said this is episode 101. What else? That's pretty much about it, man. It's been a busy day today. I had the opportunity to check out some amazing local comics in the Hampton Roads area. So my business, Revolution Beer Care, we sponsored, it's a local show called Coast Comedy Live. They're a CBS affiliate show. Their CBS affiliate station out here, WTKR, puts on about 6 episodes per season, where we have comics really from all around the East Coast, but we've mainly keep it locally because we have a lot of local talent that wants to get that, that they deserve that exposure. And it's dope. We having a great time. So we recently started season 3, and I think it was just like the first 2 episodes, and it's been going on pretty good. I don't know the exact dates when it's gonna, be put out there, but it was dope. We had some great comics, man. We had a great turnout of people show up, and it's always a lot of fun. Like, you got to keep it, keep that laughter going. Laughter is the best medicine. Well, in my opinion, besides like whiskey and bourbon, but laughter is the best medicine. That's just me. Now, my guest that I'll be having, he'll probably say weed and wine is the best medicine, because the last time I remember I had him on the show, he said, hey, weed and wine keeps you fine. And I'm like, that is so, I gotta remember that, even though I'm like, I'll take some edibles here and there, you know what I mean? It's been a while since I've partaken in the in the herb, if you know what I mean, back during my college days, back during my heathen days. But I had a great time. I never had any issues with it. But I'm excited because on today's show I have my good friend Mr. Nicholas Olenik. That's right, the Emu Guy is back, and we're just gonna talk about upcoming stuff that's happening on the local political scene, state political scene, as well as federal. We're just going to talk about a little bit of everything, man. This is my buddy, so we always just we go off the rail. Nothing's really scripted, so we're gonna have a great time. Also, as you see scrolling at the bottom, look, new episodes of the Arrington Gavin show airs every Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. All right, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, 10 a.m. Our audio version drops. So wherever you get your podcast, whether that's Spotify, iHeartRadio, Odyssey, Apple, Google, Stitcher, wherever you listen to your podcast, you can tune in. Those new episodes will drop at 10 a.m. on those days, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. But if you prefer to watch the video version, that drops at 5 p.m. on those exact same days on our YouTube channel, R Smooth Club Media, at the on YouTube, and then on Rumble at the Arrington Gavin Show. Facebook at R Smooth Club Podcast, and then on X at RSC Media, okay, or R Smooth Club Media. One of the two, you'll find us there. And also, guys, we continue to grow the audience, the listenership and all that good stuff. You can we can watch reruns of this show every Saturdays and Sundays at 7 p.m. on ESP TV on Facebook, and then ErnestSmithProductions.com online. So again, we're continuing to grow, man. I've been in conversations with some radio stations talk radio stations, or potentially maybe stretching this show out. We, syndicated. You never know. The sky's the limit. We're continue to grow. And again, we're just trying to help push good dialogue, great conversations, man, not the whole typical BS that you see on mainstream, not one side of this, one side of that, just simple conversations. Because like me, I learn amongst conversations, man. I read books here and there, but sometimes I get bored because especially if it doesn't have any pictures, man. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a picture book kind of person. If it don't have any pictures, you lost me. I'm just looking at the pictures. So yeah, where was I going with that? Oh yeah, so mainly I learn amongst conversations, and so we're just trying to have some good fun here and all the above. Before I bring on our guest, we're gonna do a quick commercial break. But before I even do that commercial break, gotta shout out my good buddy, Mr. Les Smith. Okay, Mr. Les Smith, dear friend of mine. He's a now, as you know, I'm a resident of the city of Chesapeake in Virginia, in the Hampton Roads area, and Mr. Les Smith has been a servant for the city of Chesapeake for well over 30 years, 28 years in the sheriff department. He has a nonprofit that he does, a mentorship program that he does. He also is currently a business owner in finance. I actually have one of his flyers right here. I don't know if you can see that. It says yes to less. So if you are a local in the Hampton Roads area and you're like, hey, look, I want to find more information about this gentleman, go to yestoless.com. And I'm never really a person that is always publicly, like, I guess, endorsing people, but I'm just here for people that do right for the people and is trying to be a voice for the people. Because I'll be honest, we got a lot of people in, I'm just speaking for Chesapeake. We have a lot of people in office that has been there for years. And I'm sorry, I only seen changes in one side of the community and not the full, because it's like, dude, if you want to help out the city of Chesapeake, then help out the city. Don't help out a certain area. It's just unfair. It's unfair when you start seeing, food deserts in certain areas where, there's kids that are trying, that are in need of resources, families that are in need of resources. So I'm just, I'm proud and honored to, like I said, stand by my good friend, Mr. Les Smith, running for city council. And really cool guy. I've had him on the show before. I'm gonna have him on again to speak more on his platform and things like that. So just had to make a quick shout out to him. What we're gonna do a quick commercial break, and then when we come back, I'll have my good friend, Mr. Nicholas Olenik, better known as the Emu Guy. Yeah, that's right. Don't go anywhere. Don't change that dial. And yeah, I'll be right back.
Order your beard care products with Rugged Evolution. We're your local beard care line that supports the maintenance of your full, mature beard. Our line includes conditioning shampoos, moisturizers, balms, oils, shaving lotions, and exfoliating soaps. These products moisturize, hydrate, nourish, and have all the natural ingredients for a healthy beard. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. And remember,
rugged is the new smooth.
All right, my friends, welcome back. Well, like I mentioned before, I have none other than the Emu Guy on, and it's funny because I was talking to him before the show, because the first time I had him on, I'm like, look, I had all these articles from like the Today Show, from the Associated Press, and all these national known outlets to talk about your story. And you know what? The conversation was getting so good, I forgot to freaking show at least one of them. So I'm like, just so I can give you proof, because you're probably like, Emu, what's it? Emu, what is that? Is that emo? Like emo music? What? No, emu, it's an animal. So look, go into it right now. Hold that thought. Don't go anywhere. Let me pull it up. There we go. Here is my proof. All right. Look at that. Wait, hold on. Is it up there? No, it's giving us some time. This is an old article by the Associated Press. Virginia Beach man won the right to keep an emotional support emu. Look at that handsome devil. Oh man, look at that. So I just wanted to show you that really quick before I bring on Nicholas, man. And I see him backstage. He's like, oh yeah, that's a good looking cat right there. That's a sexy man right there. But look, I just wanted to show you that. If y'all want to read more information about his awesome story, man, like I said, his name is Nicholas Olenik. You can look it up wherever you, whatever outlet, just type in his name. Real cool guy. So I just wanted to show that really quick before I bring him on. All right, the man of the hour. Let me go ahead and bring him on, Mr. Nicholas Olenik. Nick, my man, how you doing, sir?
Hello. I'm well. Thank you for having me. That was not Nemu, by the way. That was an Imani Cayenne. That was an Indonesian royal chicken I had in my hand. That chicken
Oh,
has black
that was a
skin,
royal.
black lung. That's the royal chicken of Indonesia. I call it Obama. And it has black skin, black lungs, black heart. All of its organs are black, but lays a pure white egg. It was just bred with the
Y'all learn some
darkest
stuff here on the
melons.
show.
That hen is probably worth about $600.
God, wow. So that was one. Oh, so I didn't, man. Now, damn it, I need to find the email. But anyway, look it up. You're gonna find it. It's awesome, man. Well, look, Nick, man, it's so great to have you back on. We had a great conversation the last time. Hey, look at him sipping on that wine, man. Is that a cab? Is that a Merlot, sir? What is that? What is that you are partaking in?
$20 a box. I'm not trying to impress anybody. It's fermented grapes. It tastes good.
Hey, look, I got to pick that up right there. I mean, you might have to send me a picture of that. Man, look, so much stuff has happened. One thing I was excited to have you back on, man, because after the conversation we had, we've literally just been like, messaging each other, just talking about this local elections. Hey, this candidate is has a great platform. I think he'd be great for your show, and I truly appreciate that because he's been referring a lot of great candidates to my show. And just because I'm a person that I enjoy to have conversation, and on top of that too, it's a platform to please share what your stances are, share what what people can receive out of voting for you. This is not the typical like, all right, headline this and we're just gonna go from. No, we actually go in the in the foundation. We go in the nooks and crannies of it, I guess, everything. So I'm just really excited to have you back on, man. How's everything been going since the last time I spoke to you? Any changes, man? I see you added some new merch, some new stuff in that room there.
New guns, new merch. I got my fire spinning toy up now. You can spin fire. Recently in politics, I've moved on up. I am now considered the Congressional District 2's vice chair of the Libertarian Party of Virginia.
Awesome.
Get to go up to our Libertarian National Convention at the end of this month up in Washington, D.C.
Wow, that's dope. That's dope. And you've been very, very involved in. I mean, I had a great conversation with James St. John, who's the chair out there for the Hampton Roads Libertarian. Really cool guy. It was great getting some insight and just an understanding on the the libertarian movement, because again, currently not just on a federal level, but even in your local elections, people are considering third party options. Just they're tired. Everybody's tired of the two party system, right? People are like, look, we're just really looking for a great candidate that means well, that stands by their their values, their core values, that is for the people. And they're tired because they're not thrilled with their options. Can you tell me a little more before we kind of go into some of those names I see back there? But let's go more into like the libertarian movement. Why do you see, in your opinion, seeing a lot of growth, at least for the for 2020 growth in the libertarian movement? Because if I'm not mistaken, I think presidential candidates, there's like at least two or three candidates, I believe, that's representing the Libertarian Party, two-ish maybe.
Yeah, we're going to decide that at the end of the month, Memorial Day weekend, at our national convention. I'm a delegate. I get to one of 39 for the state of Virginia that gets to go vote on who we want to be our nominee. We've got a couple people. Some of them are all right. I don't put my faith behind most of them. I've met them, but I do think there's other candidates out there that meet my requirements a little bit better. So I can't fully speak on that. I'm more interested in libertarianism at the local level and the state level.
Gotcha.
Why jump straight to only having a presidential candidate? We need to have some school board candidates. We need to have some mayor candidates, some sheriff candidates. I really do not care right now about the libertarian national runs. I'm more focused on bettering our little corner of the earth. When we started our organization, we could have just chosen Virginia Beach. Most of me and my Libertarian Party members are from Virginia Beach. It's just who I know and who is willing. We're reaching out to the other, but we started the Hampton Roads. That way we could try and help launch independent candidates at all around the city. I'm not really looking for a Senate candidate right now to run. I'm not looking for a congressman to run. I'm looking for some quality nonpartisans. Almost all of our elected officials locally have to be nonpartisan. So let's find those nonpartisans that's going to represent 80% of the people, not just 50 or 49%. So I'm really not paying much mind right now myself to the national libertarian level. I'm trying to build this from the ground up.
So
I believe. Okay.
I ain't gonna cut you off, but so then going to the local side, you mentioned you're really like looking for because like you mentioned, nonpartisan races happen on the local level when the school board, city council, even mayoral races is nonpartisan. Is the Libertarian Party? Do you guys reach out to the candidates? Does the candidates reach out to you? How does, when it comes to finding that? How does the process go when trying to find that person that can, we can stand behind this individual?
It's kind of like dating in middle school right now. Both of us, both sides are awkward about the approach. We're offering everybody a chance to come meet us, and if we like you, we'll help you out. Doesn't mean money wise, but we've got things we can do right now. If you didn't get the nod by the Dems or the Republicans, even though you're nonpartisan, you're just running as an independent, we can actually help you out if you meet our criteria. Once you get a party backing, even if you're nonpartisan, your mailers to every house, we can save you almost half price. Right now, to just independent mailing everybody house postage is 33 cents a household. But if you have a political party behind you and helping you do it, we can get that down to 18 cents roughly. Wow. So you almost save half just by having a party do it for you. So we're currently not allowed to really help out Republicans or Democrats. That's why we're also keeping it low. We're working on that. I had a long discussion since our state convention on the ability to endorse nonpartisan candidates as a libertarian. It took about 2-3 months of figuring it out, but they finally gave me the go-ahead. There's certain criteria. We need everybody that wants to be endorsed or helped by us. All they have to do is meet our criteria of just libertarian values. I mean, don't be against guns. That's one of.
I was just about to ask, what are some of those? What are some of those values?
All right, I'll briefly. I won't give you the whole speech. I have it here in front of me, just because the first libertarian social we had, I gave this speech out. These are the pillars provide a foundation for understanding libertarianism as a political philosophy that prioritizes individual freedoms and limited government interventions into the lives of citizens. First off, we're pro 2A. I mean, that doesn't really mean much when you're running for a school board, though. Doesn't apply to you. School board council is not going to give us unjust gun laws. So what we're going for, a lot of these don't fully apply, but to Second Amendment, individual liberty, limited government, self-ownership, property rights, non-aggression principle, free markets, voluntary association, freedom of speech and expression, personal responsibility, and peace and diplomacy. Like I said, those are just some of the core ones. Like, let's just start there and see, these are the discussions we want to have. And if you pass the smell test on this, we're willing to move forward. And we just need you to sign a non-aggression pledge, meaning, once again, doesn't really apply to local elections. Meaning you're not going to nuke the people first. You can hit them. You can hit them back as hard as you want. Just don't be the asshole first. But that goes to like tack ads and smear ads. Win with your ideas, not with a smear.
Let me tell you something, man. That's a whole nother conversation we can obviously have now, because hey, you're already on. We're having a great conversation, man. When it comes to these attack ads, I mean, does it just like bore the hell out of you? Sometimes you like want to just, damn it, you're in the midst of my good shows. Like what? Like it's so and it's funny because like each of them get more and more creative, like every election cycle. Like I'm like, oh wow, did they just add this? Did they just do that? Like it's getting pretty interesting. Like I'm curious I would like to interview, I guess maybe a producer of some of these attack ads or a director. Like, I mean, what's your thought process, man, when you see all these attack ads?
I think they're a waste of time. I mean, they're trying to pick people apart on personality differences and stuff like that. When the real attack ad that can be ran and won and never be considered being mean is just posting everybody's VPAP and where they get their money from. You really want to attack establishment, show who's paying them. That's how you attack them. Everybody's over establishment and crony capitalism where the builder is going to donate and get their, just because you run raise $110,000 in one night doesn't mean you're going to be good at running a city. That just means you've got rich friends and you're going to owe them favors.
That's so true, man. That's so true. I mean, let's be honest, man. When it comes to like, and I keep moving to a national, but hey, it happens on a local level too.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many individuals that are bought until it's just like it's sad, because at the end of the day, it goes with the same saying, this person is in there to align their pockets and not, for the people. And that's the hard thing that at least voters have to start really putting into consideration, rather than just not. And I'm not saying everybody. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying it does happen. It's not like, it's nothing like foreign to politicians or to news outlets that bring it up. Hey, look, such and such did this, such and such. That's why, like, there's been candidates that has fought for or that has run a platform on, look, I'm trying to get rid of the Congress being bought. You know what I mean? Like, like a lot of corporate companies own Congress, own Senate, owns your local council, school board. I mean, you name it. A lot of people. Trust me, there's money being swum around here.
That's why we need term limits all the way down to dog catcher. If you make it so they have to only go 2 terms, it costs the lobbyists so much money to buy us consistently. You get, like, right now, if they bought you in your 5th year and you've been there for 40 years, that was a great bargain. But if they buy you in your 3rd year and you can only serve 8 years, every 8 years you're gonna have to keep buying the people over again, and we'll just wear them out that way.
Very true, very true. And I think too, man, for people that are tuning into this show and is listening, please take notes, because again, I'm a person where I am no expert. I just go it's sometimes a lot of this is just common sense. I mean, that's the thing. A lot of it is just common sense. If you really like take the time to think on it, like, wait a minute, something's not right here. Something's not right. This person, and I'm with you on the term limits, man, because God knows. Look, you have people that, hey, look, I've interacted with 80-year-olds that, hey, have a sharp mind, but still, I don't think they should be in a position where it's like, I just read something that Bernie Sanders is running for re-election. Bernie Sanders is 82 years old. I'm sorry, Bernie, I like you, buddy, but please sit down. You're in Vermont. Enjoy some Ben and Jerry's, man. Enjoy some Ben and Jerry's.
I will fix the problems I helped create.
I will fix the problems that I would. I can't. I need to work on the Bernie Sanders. I know that's really a hard one.
I will fix the problem that has 40 years of profession. Like,
look,
no,
when you realize like this man had a heart attack when he was running for president, please, that was a sign right there. Like, please, Bernie, just chill. Like, I've never cared for it. And look, we have people in council in my city that has been in council since the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s. I mean, to me, that's a long time. It's just, I do think that, yes, you have people that's been up there for a while, but why can't you just somewhat be of a mentor and start bringing on some new faces, fresh ideas? Because at the end of the day, everything changes daily, man. It's just, you can't, what are you about to say?
So I brought this up to a lot of in-office people about like, and their excuse is, we don't want to lose them for their experience and their advice. Okay, so they love this city only because they're serving on this council? You mean if they still live in the city once off the council and they know everything and everyone on the council, if they get voted out or not allowed to run again, you think they'll just stop helping the city they love? That they do. I've been in the rooms and heard, there's a lady that's like 30, 40 years on our council here, and everybody backs her up. Oh, we need her for her connections. You don't think that connections are going to be there if she's not on council?
There you go.
She's just going to abandon us because we don't have her in the jester's chair.
And not even that, Nick. I'm just saying, like, say for example, you were that person that was there for 34 years. Nick, since knowing you, I've made, I'll say, 4 connections, with individuals. Likewise, we were connected through a mutual friend. Shout out to Conrad Shesvender. I'm just saying, the
most troublesome friend I have as a Republican libertarian. Like, they're like, you're friends with Conrad. I'm like, dude, I love debating him. Say what you want on his politics. He helps me debate, and I help him debate. We talk and we learn from each other. We sharpen each other's edge. Like,
I love it, man.
Have friends across the aisle.
Hey, look, trust me, you'll be surprised. There'll be people that will not call me out, but there will be a person. There was a person I had a conversation with. He's like, "Oh, I can't believe you took a picture with that individual." I'm like, "What are you talking about? Like what? Like it was just a picture." I'm like, first of all, I'm friends with everybody, so shut up.
Yeah.
Like it's just I get so annoyed with that whole. I get so
I've
annoyed
made
with that.
friends with Kelly Fowler. She's who I ran against. Every time I go up to Richmond now, I see her and tell her to keep my office desk warm. I'm like, keep that warm, you know? But I mean, we became friends. We hated each other at first only because all we ever did was argue politics.
Yeah.
But I mean, she's trying her best. I hope to kick her butt in the next election. But I wish
you heard it
all
here,
well.
Kelly.
Yeah,
You know what?
I'm
You know
for
what?
girl.
I happen to know Kelly Fowler pretty well. People from her team, and look, I would love to have her on the show and be like, hey, look. So your friend Nicholas said keep the desk warm. Is that true?
Yeah.
Wait, what can we say? We gotta have some.
I
Gotta have
went
a
up
good
to
little battle.
Richmond. All right, so I went up to Richmond every day the cannabis bill was being voted on. I
Mhm.
walked that thing through. I thank Aaron Rouse for putting it forward. It was a little flawed. I would have done a couple things different, but
Mhm.
that can always be fixed once it's passed. It
Mhm.
looked like it was amazingly. It passed. Shout out also to Christy New Craig. Christy New Craig is the only Republican that went against Governor Youngkin's orders and said, no, my people want this, and voted for that bill.
Wow,
Come on. I don't know. Most people know that. She's one of y'all. She
I was about to say
covers
she's a state
Chesapeake,
senator. She's a state senator
Yep.
out of
She
Chesapeake.
is the
Yep.
out of all delegates and all senators on the Republican side, she's the only one that voted yes, and that's the reason the Senate passed it, is because of her vote. And it's because she listened to her constituents that said, I want it. She went under heavy fire by superiors saying, we don't vote for this. And she went against them. Bravo, Christy. Bravo.
Clap it up, Christy and Chris. Christy, I hope you're watching and listening, because I would love to have you on the show too. Look, I'm just saying I want to talk to everybody, but that is real. That is really, really cool. That is very. I mean, again, the only for both Senate and
delegates.
That's
other Republican
really
voted for it because they were told not to. And then Youngkin held that thing hostage for a stadium deal. No. If Northern Virginia wants their stadium, make a TIF, a little regional tax plan for Northern Virginia. I hate sports. I don't want to put more taxes in it. You're trying to move a team literally 30 minutes of a drive away.
That's the point. That's the pointless thing when I first heard about it. I'm like, oh, snap. You know, sports coming to Virginia, dope. But then when they said it's going from DC to Alexandria, I'm like,
no.
What?
And the only reason he pushed that so hard is
so the left foot is going to cross the line, and that's now in Alexandria. My right foot is still in DC.
I guarantee you some of Youngkin's donors owned the land that it was going to go on, or were going to get the contracts for building the thing. No, it's dumb. Do not hold a bill 63% of Virginians want hostage for a stadium you want. Yeah, a bunch of bros want it. But, like, come on. Do we really want to let the sports fans really lead our country? Like, no, they're the ones that chug beers out of shoes and shit. You know, like, I get it. There's a good portion of the world that likes sports, but, like,
sir,
no.
have you ever chugged a beer out of a boot? I'm just saying, it's quite refreshing. It's a different taste. No, I'm joking. I have it.
It's weird. I drink wine out of a box. That's weird enough.
Oh, I love it. But man, speaking of Youngkin, man, I mean, how's his governorship? How's his term, do you think, going? Do you think he's going to be, say, like
will be forever? Nope, he will forever be known as a political loser. He came in so strong. He had all the mama bears and all the pit bull mothers up there and supporting him. And then midterm, he chose abortion to die on. Like, dude, you could have chosen anything else and probably kept the House or the Senate, but you lost both because you chose abortion and made everybody repeat your bullshit talking points. Didn't you notice all Republicans said the same thing that sounded like it was passed down from up high? And a lot of them didn't agree with saying it, and you could hear it in them repeating the talking points. They did it poorly. In my opinion, I've even told multiple people this publicly. He will always be known as a political loser. Under his watch, he lost the House and Senate. He had the governorship, the lieutenant governorship, the attorney general, the House, and the Senate under his watch, and he lost it.
I mean,
I
can't disagree with you on that one, man. I agree with you on that one.
I call a spade a spade. I'm sorry.
It's, you know what, it's been told, you know, that the hardest thing that obviously that's hurting Republicans is, you know, the abortion stance, right? So that's just something that it's like, okay, you gotta find something. And then what's hurting the liberals is, on the Democrats, is the border. That's a hard thing that's happening, you know, on a national level. But yeah, Youngkin is pretty, it's tough for him, because it's funny, he had, I've read something, I think in his term, he so far have had 91 vetoes, something like
and
that.
He brags about, he gives the pins away. Like, dude, stop bragging about vetoing good law. I get to all the gun laws. I'm happy. I am happy he vetoed all gun laws. I think all state gun laws are unconstitutional, shall not be infringed. But, you know, I mean, stop bragging about vetoing down. Every time I hear he vetoes something, do you know how much it costs to put a bill together? How much actual taxpayer? It's like $100,000 to $150,000 just to pay the people to write the bill, just for the time and every bill that comes up. So every time you see a veto, just be like, oh, that was some wasted tax dollars. Now, it might just be recycling the old bill with a couple changes. Yeah, that's cheaper. But the bill alone costs over $100,000 just for all the legislative aides, lawyers. You know, lawyers aren't cheap, especially the ones that work for the state and government. You know, they charge a premium, and they take their sweet time writing a 500-page bill that can be summarized in 20.
Wow.
Look up how much it cost. Like, I got to watch how the sausage was made, and I got disgusted.
Wow.
What you want to learn how it works? Run for office. You'll learn all the secrets.
And that's another thing, Nick, because you ain't Nicholas. Nick, you mind if I call you Nick?
Whatever you want, buddy.
Okay, I mean, Nicholas, I always, you know, hey, always want to make sure I'm, you know, respecting the names, because people always say, Arrington. Do you have a shorter name? I'm like, you can just call me Arrington. So I'm like,
I call you Gavin to a lot of people that know. Hey, Gavin.
Hey, it's that, you know what? Gavin's fine too, man. Hey, it's a part of my name, so it's all cool. Yeah. You ran for office before. Like you said, you learned a lot running for office. Was running for office kind of like a great segue of understanding, knowing what's really happening? Because I mean, you plan on ever running for office again? I don't know if it's for the same position or going back. Awesome. Going back
for state delegate. I'm not going to hop positions that I believe I can make the best change at the state level. Everything I care about's at the state level. We're a Dillon rule state, so you can control cities from the state.
Love it, man. Love it. So let's go back to the locals, because we've spoken about you know, Youngkin obviously not having success. And it's funny, because I remember where they were, you know, when Youngkin was in office, I'm like, hey, look, this is the new savior for the Republican Party. He's even might have a chance to be in the VP and this and that and the other. And it's like all this just like slowly but surely, like none of that's occurring right now. And now I guess I get
choice when he lost the House and Senate.
Exactly.
He lost the VP ability when he lost the House and Senate.
And I get tired of seeing all the back and forth, because let's be honest. I mean, yes, you have the House and Senate majority Dem, and you have him over at the, you know, governor's seat. Most of the time, anything that passes from the House and Senate, he's going to just be like, nope. And like you mentioned, he's handing out pens saying, hey, look, these are souvenirs. Dude, like, what's like?
That's not what you brag about, dude, because half the country, your constituents wanted it for it to get that far. So you have to represent them all. You might be able, I'd prefer if he just amended most of them. And even if the amendment killed them all the way, you know, just neuter them with amendments, and then let it just fall apart stale. Don't just straight veto unless it's straight bullshit. You know, I mean, like, there's different ways and diplomatic ways of doing it. I mean, one thing I can't wait for, I'm a pro, what's her name? Dang, I just had a brain fart. Lieutenant Governor Winsome Sears. Winsome Sears for governor. She's the only Republican I trust to pass recreational marijuana, because she's Jamaican.
Hey, but we will see, because look, let's see if she will, because she's a she's big on her faith. And the Christian
she's also big on her heritage. She brags about her Jamaican heritage and where she came from.
Good point. We will see. Don't
be playing identity politics unless you're going to back up that identity. You can laugh. It's okay.
That was a good one. Do you think she's gonna run for? Because right now, let's talk about kind of like the governor's race. Because I believe Youngkin has one more year left until his term is over.
Yep, he will
And
run next year with me.
And so there's only been really lieutenant. Well, I know there's a Congresswoman Spanberg, I think that's her name. I know I've heard her running for governor. Initially, the mayor of Richmond, Mayor Stoney, was gonna run for governor. Then he dropped and said, I'm gonna run for lieutenant governor. Then coming from our neck of the woods out in Virginia Beach, State Senator Aaron Rouse said, hey, look, I'm gonna run for lieutenant governor. So it's like it's some, you know, some names coming up, but they're the only names that I've read about. Do you think Winsome Sears would like to run for governor? If so, do you think she has a chance?
Why would she be lieutenant governor if she didn't want to run for governor? You don't get that high up in office without the hopeful of continuing. You know?
Good point.
Yeah, I mean, even if they say, "Oh, I'm thinking about it," that means they're already fundraising for it.
Gotcha. Very okay. Good point.
I'd vote for her.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I gotta say. I like her. She's an electrician. The last time I was at one of the dinners with her, me and her sat down and talked about Ohm's law. You know, I like a tradesperson running the country or running the state. I like somebody that's done something. I don't vote for lawyers. I try not to. You know, no.
We've had that conversation before, Nicholas. We've had that conversation before.
Give me a good old farmer again. You know, give me somebody with their hands dirty doing something. The only thing I'd hold against Winsome Sears as an electrician, does she sweep up after her job? Most electricians don't clean up after themselves.
Hey,
that cut all those little wire caps and leave them for the next person.
That is hilarious because I kid you not, last week I had some light fixtures getting changed out of here in my office, and the gentleman swept and he vacuumed. I'm like, God damn,
you got a good one, dog. You got a good one.
What, man?
My wife builds beach houses and stuff, and the electricians never clean up after themselves. It's like, come on,
let me tell you something.
Like,
my mom has worked with contractors because she's a real estate broker, and she's had contractors in the past that did not clean up behind themselves, and they'll be like, they finished doing a great job, but damn it, all this dust is like and it's carpet. I mean, this man vacuumed and swept. I'm like, do you need a drink, man? I got some whiskey in the back. You want to grab a drink? I was so happy, man. So, and I'm glad you actually brought that up because there's been multiple stories and, you know, docu-series talking about the growth of students leaning more towards like vocational schools and trade schools rather than going to college because they're pissed that by the time they do graduate, they gain debt. And it's like, okay, I'm still looking for a job within my field. And most likely I'm not even going to work in the field that I've worked so damn hard through these 4 years. Or if you saying, okay, look, I graduated. Now I got to get my master's. Oh, you're still underqualified. Go get your doctorate. Oh, you're actually overqualified. So it's back and forth. What's your take, man, on, you know, team trade schools or vocational schools and team? Hey, still go get the degree. It's still the best route. What's your what's Nicholas Olenik's take on that whole spiel?
From my understanding, my tax dollars have never had to bail out a trade school's college tuition. They all were able to earn enough money and pay it off. There's a lot of doctors and lawyers that we've paid off their college education because it wasn't worth it. I would like all of these schools have huge endowments. I'd like them to pay them off because they sold them the worthless piece of paper. Right? I mean, why is it got it? Or we'll keep doing it, but we're eliminating all of these schools tax-free sanctions. You know, we'll just start taxing y'all. If we're going to keep paying off y'all's worthless paper, y'all are no longer tax exempt. Otherwise, I'd like you to still be tax exempt, but your endowment program will pay off all of your failed degrees. You can't build that new wing this year because all of our diplomas from last year aren't making any money, so we got to pay off their loans.
Bro, that is so, I couldn't agree with you more on that because I'm dead honest, because as much as trust me, education is all in order to have knowledge in life, you gotta be educated. I'm not saying it's, don't pursue it if you want to. I just hate the fact that I feel as though students or upcoming students are sold on this big dream that, hey, look, you can do this. All you gotta do is just go through this, say, financial plan program, whatever it is. You're good. You're gonna, once you graduate, you're gonna do this. You're gonna make plan. And it pisses me off when I've had good friends of mine, who was like, higher honor, summa cum laude, you name it, and they struggled finding. I mean, it almost took 2 years to find a job within their field, and they were still paying. And I'm just like, hold up, something's not right. Was this ever mentioned to us? Like, be upfront with us. First of all, freshman year, I remember doing nothing but like general courses, class that I took my senior year. I'm like, why is this, needed? Yeah, I didn't take AP courses. Oh, I wasn't an overachiever like that. I was just trying to, hey, look, let me do the class I know I can do, and let me move on. But if in order for you, because I went to private school, if you had took AP courses, then that would cover your general courses and can help you graduate earlier in college. But I'm still like, what is this general course gonna do for me in life? Like, can I actually pursue? Can I do what I want to do? Yeah, I mean, does it have to be like the 4 years? Can it be 2 years? I love reading about the trade schools, because I was actually watching excuse me, I was watching a series on News Nation. It was Micro and Chris Cuomo,
Yeah,
and
that's who I was going to say. Micro Works Foundation. I donate to him often. When my brother passed away, we gave them a bunch of money of my brother's.
And they had a great conversation. They had kind of like a town hall with all, like, say, electricians, plumbers, all handymans, you name it. They had a conversation with them and just talked about, hey, look, this is how much I've made, this is the work I've put in, this and that and the other, and it didn't cost me this much the way it's costing some other people that finish with. And I'm like, see, this is the conversation we need right now, because hey, cost of living is going to continue to increase. Right now, honestly, during election season, interest rates always increase. It's just like a tradition that happens during election season. Interest rates on cars, interest rates on homes. It comes, and then literally by the time certain races go, okay, you start seeing somewhat of a balance of increasing. But right now, kids are moving back with their parents because they can't afford to stay, to stay in a home on their own. They can't afford to stay on their own. Groceries are increasing, things in that nature. And again, I'm just like, okay, and yet they got student loan or student debt they got to pay. It's just, it always blows my mind, because I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I remember my parents asked me, you should get your master's. I'm like, yeah, once that graduation, I walk across, I'm out of here, buddy. I got ideas, I got dreams, I got goals, I got this, I got that. It's gonna be harder work, but hey, I'm up for the ride. It's just I could not see myself. I don't mind getting certifications, but I could not see myself doing another 3 or 5 years of it. I couldn't, Nick. I could not see myself doing it.
I'll probably butcher this saying, but there's a funny meme quote saying, "Why is it that all the straight A students work for all the C- students?"
You know what? Because sometimes I feel like the straight A students, they lose. Okay, I always use this phrase, common sense university. If you don't have common sense, if you don't have a degree in common sense university, I'm sorry, you're not going to make it out. You're just not. Like, yep. I know plenty of geniuses that don't have a lick of common sense. Like, because I mean, when they're so overly smart, they already think that, okay, I'm always the right one. So they never try to consume new knowledge. Common sense people is like, okay, my ears are always open. I'm a listener. I'm not a person that always just will say, yeah. I'm listening. And then on top of that too, just street smarts, man. You got to have street smarts. You have to see what reality is, what's happening in the streets, what's happening in the community. Like, wait a minute, if I do that, then I can do this. Common sense university.
In my few decades, I did construction and maintenance for a living. I never once met a rich executive that paid me because he didn't have time to do it. They always paid me because they didn't know how. My dad used to tell my brother was college educated, all of that good stuff, business executive, business owner. And he used to keep telling him, yeah, you better start earning all that money. You're going to have to pay people like your brother to fix all your cool shit. I mean, I'm the one that learned to tinker and play and fix. He's the one that just learned to whatever the executives do.
I'm telling you, man, you got to have street common sense university. I've yet to get a grant from the state and the city. I've yet to get an endowment from Common Sense University. We're still in existence, but I've yet to get government funding for that university. Man, look, let's move it on to to some of those names I see back there. So I see Philip Hines, who I know is running for city council in Virginia Beach. I believe is a district 8. District 8. Okay.
Hines is running to replace Chris Taylor.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
He's got my 100% support. He's grassrooting it. He already serves on 5 appointments for the city of Virginia Beach. Like the city of Virginia Beach already trusts him on 5 boards that he volunteers his time for. It's not like he gets paid to be on these boards, but he does it because he loves this city.
Wow.
His Republican opponent was just King Neptune and prom king. Never been to a political meeting before. You know me. I go to all meetings anywhere I'm allowed to go. I ain't never seen Home Dude anywhere but on King Neptune's float. And then I saw him at Town Bank and all the developers' charities. Like Hines all the way, grassroots. If you want somebody that cares for you and not their developer buddies, Chris.
Wow. And you said 5. You said 5 different. You said committees
5
that he served.
Board of Equalization, Short Terms Rental Task Force, Parks and Recs, Green Space Observance, and I'm not him. I don't know his whole resume. I mean,
I'm definitely out.
He is on. I know he is on 5. So the city of Virginia Beach trust. If you lived in Virginia Beach and you were like, wow, my property taxes looks way wrong, you can go to him and his council, say, I don't think this is right, and they can actually lower your property tax just by you coming to them and making good faith. So him just being in that position has saved more Virginia Beach taxpayers money than anybody else on council.
Wow. He sounds like a gentleman that is honestly like a voice for the people. And it's funny.
He wants to represent the city.
And see, that's what I'm talking about, because at the end of the day, I think a lot of residents, I can speak for Chesapeake residents, there's stuff that the city does not know anything about, right? People on council knows, people on school board, but the citizens do not know, nor do we ever receive the acts. I mean, we just don't know. And it's unfortunate because it's like, okay, you would think since we're helping fund it, you want to kind of keep us in the loop. what's happening in your in the community, in the cities, because we're still at large here in Chesapeake. I know they have the district system in Virginia Beach. So Philip Hines running for District 8. I know I definitely plan on having him on. I've been in contact with him, just working on some dates. Moving on to Chris Taylor, because he's running for Chris Taylor's seat. Now, Chris Taylor is running for mayor. Chris Taylor has been a city council member for maybe 2
years, 3 years,
right,
not a full term.
Not a full term, which I have been very, I've always spoken on the show, and I'm trying to schedule some dates with Chris as well. I've interviewed him when he was running for city council. Really dope dude, smart guy, family man, former athlete out of Virginia Wesleyan, business owner, like cool guy. When it was almost like a what's what I'm looking for? Him winning council really kind of like, whoa, that was kind of like I guess you could consider not an upset, but it was like no one expected him to win.
It was a shocker. It was a shocker.
There we go. That's what I'm looking for. It was a shocker. No one expected him to win. He won. He's very, like I said, he's an athlete. He's very passionate. He has that competitive drive. And now he's running for mayor. And I'm like, whoa. Because I guess I'm that guy that is like, okay, finish out the terms first, then continue to work your way, rather than just going while it's still hot, right? While the stock value is high. A friend of mine who's a political and legal analyst, he spoke about stock value, and because we were talking about Aaron Rouse, man, who's he's running for lieutenant governor, and I'm just like, man, has he been a full senator yet? And he hasn't, but the stock value is high. Just like I mean, I know you don't like sports, but like in sports,
I get
it. In sports, it's like if I'm playing college basketball and I'm a sophomore or freshman, they're saying, hey, look, your stock is high. You should just do 1 year in college and pursue the draft. Instead of trying, finishing out your school year, because you can get hurt, that can lower, yada, yada, yada. So the stock is high. Do you think that Chris Taylor's stock value is high, and that's maybe and I hate for you to speak for him, but just as a person who's backing him, like what you mentioned your reason to support him, but do you think his stock value is also high? Do you think it's the right time for him to run for mayor, or what's your thoughts?
I don't like the direction we're going right now. If Bobby Dyer gets another term, it's going to be more same old. Bobby Dyer is the developer mayor and town bank mayor. That's it. That's it. Chris Taylor has my undying respect because when I was going through my emu and my city problems, Chris Taylor's not even my council member. I can't vote for him in council. But out of all 11 that represent our city, he helped me. He shared resources with me. He told me the avenues to go and where to look up stuff. Not even my right now, Sabrina Wooten is she's also running for mayor, but she is my council member. She laughed at the paperwork I gave her. I handed her my lawsuit against the city while she was sitting there at one of the other events pandering to people. And I said, here, I'd love to hear what you think about it. And she read it, giggled a little bit, folded it up, said, we'll be in touch. Never heard from her. Did it with every single person. I already knew what Bobby Dyer's answer was because his city kept prosecuting me. You don't need to go to him. He could have stopped it. Trust me, I was a squeaky wheel. He knew who I was. And they knew me. Anybody on, but Chris Taylor took his time to just share me avenues and people to talk to. So his constituent services to somebody not even in his district won me over. That's why I will go put all. I'm the one running around putting all of Chris Taylor signs up for him because he's earned. I don't give any politician money. That's the easy way out. I give them the most valuable resource I have: my time, my effort, and my word.
Well, hold on. Let me go ahead and cross out these checks that I was gonna write out. Damn it! No.
I put my political future on all of these people I'm supporting because I'm very vocal about being a political hopeful again. And these are the people I believe in. They see the world the way I see it, and I think they're going to do a great job. Chris Taylor was the youngest executive ever at DuPont. The only reason he left was because his mom got sick, and he came here and spent the last of the years with her. It's very respectable. He could just go back to being an executive at DuPont, making tons of money. But I think he's making like $20,000 a year right now, maybe 30 if he gets mayor. He's doing it because he wants to. His family's been in this city for 200 some odd years. He loves the city too. Hines loves the city. Taylor loves the city. Those are two people I know will do good for the city, for all members of the city, not just red or blue. He pulled back out of seeking the Republican endorsement because it just got so sickening. Trying to bend to either of the party's rules, run and receive the nomination and let them hand you the contract you have to sign. It's disgusting. That's when I turned away from the Republican Party. When the paperwork says I have to toe the line and endorse every Republican. No,
they're telling you what to do. They're telling you, hey, look, this is what you need to do. Forget about what your core values are. Just vote for these people. We got it covered. And like you said, majority of them will never even know who the hell you are.
During the Black Lives Matter protests and everything, they used to put ACAB all over the place, spray paint ACAB. Well, I used to carry around a 99-cent shaker can of black and put an N in front of the ACAB. Not all cops are bastards. Some of them are. Some of them are. But just like some of the politicians are bastards. No, I'm not putting my good name after a piece of trash just because they have the same color jersey on as me. That's half the reason I went. Remember, I was an independent last time. I found a home in the Libertarian Party where they said, just keep being you. They know I'm a Donald Trump supporter. I get laughed at by half the libertarians like, ew, gross. That's the most unlibertarian thing these old school libertarians ever said. You're supposed to let me have my freedom of speech, expression, and will. And this is who my one vote goes for. I can't endorse Donald Trump as a libertarian head, but I can as Nicholas Olenik. He's sitting right above me right here, all over the place. I got a signed $1 bill from him right here. I got a hand painting of him and Kim Jong-un riding a unicorn.
This goes to my main man, Nicholas Olenik. You're the man.
The only thing I want from my helping the Republican Party is if I ever get to meet Donald Trump, I want that signed.
Hey,
that's my only ask.
Anybody got a pen? This is good. I like this.
Every door in my district for Donald Trump if I can get that thing signed.
Nick's a good man. I know a lot of Nicholas. I know a lot of Nicks, but that one right there, the Emu Guy, I like emus. I really do. I used to ride one myself. No, you know what, Nick? Look, let me tell you something. I have a pretty good Donald Trump. I'm not trying to brag on myself, but like in the heat of the moment, it's a little scratchy. But like if you catch me on a good day, look, it's pretty sharp. But I think that's a dope thing because at the end of the day,
at a spot, you're a part of a party that lets you be you. And I do think, and again, that's why I've said it many times on the show. I have plenty of friends that vote for, that support political figures, say that I might not agree with, but that doesn't make them bad people. Hey, you got different football teams or different sport. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I always hate the fact that people are like, oh, you can't be friends with me because they're standing behind this person. They give me a break. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'll be honest. I'm not a fan of either candidate running for president. I mean, I'm probably, again, I always lean kind of more third party ish anyway. But regardless of who wins, me personally, I've always said I'm still gonna sleep well. I'm still gonna wake up in the morning. So I never get so overwhelmed with, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're doing. I'm like, that's their views. That's them. I'm not here to be to turn on like the little I don't know, to be a tool man and reprogram them. No, that's their beliefs. I can't stand when people try to push you towards another side. I never care for that. But that's why, another reason why I do respect Chris, because Chris is a person, even from the beginning when he was running, he never said that. First thing he said, you need new leadership. I want to say, I thought he used the term young leadership too, because I thought he was making an age jab. But but he
right now we do. Right now, we do have the youngest and my most diverse city council in Virginia Beach history.
Very true.
We have
Very
more
true.
minorities. We have more marginalized groups represented. I guess is a good way to say it. At a younger demographic.
Very true. Very true. Which is a reason why I know for cities like Chesapeake, they're really trying to push for either like a ward or a district system, because again, Virginia Beach is the largest city population wise in the state of Virginia. Second to them is Chesapeake. Chesapeake is still at large, and they're like, hold up, something's like, because see, on my council, I'll say 85%, maybe even 90% of people on council, they're from like the Hickory Grassfield area. They cater to the Hickory Grassfield area. And it's unfair for people that live in other pockets of Chesapeake. They're like, wait a minute, we've been asking for this for years. We've been asking for that for years. We're not, and it's unfair. So we're really trying to hope for like, and the thing is, people on both sides really respect a district system or a ward system, because okay, we have somebody actually representing our area. There's like a person that's not just gonna drive through and be like, okay, you're good. All right, I'm out. I'm out.
I don't mind the district system as long as it's not gerrymandered nonstop. If you're going to make a district, make a district. It might be lopsided just because more higher density is put up there. That's fine. Just don't give the power to the people to gerrymander it, or to the And I'd much prefer a district system versus ranked choice voting. I think ranked choice voting will destroy everything. I don't. A lot of people throw it out as a saving grace, but no, not really. Like, no, we need to have we need to show an ID, vote, and it counts. Not ranked choice. Not, oh, this is my second and third choices. No. Put a district voting in, secure the vote, and let the winner take all. That's what you got to do. I want people to show up on the day to vote. I want to shorten. Do you know how much it costs each of our cities to have 45 days of open voting?
Oh, I could imagine, just to have
like
those like
$150,000, $200,000 for Virginia Beach. I know. I've been learning a lot about this from the other smaller cities. Like I said, I'm most familiar, but I'm now in charge of District 2. So I need to learn a little bit about everywhere, and it costs the city so much money to be open for 45 days of early voting. It's disgusting.
Well, I know like each precincts having a precinct even up and running costs a lot, because there was an incident. Well, not an incident, but there was an issue that was happening in Chesapeake where like I'm gonna say either 2 or 3 precincts had shut down. They ended that for early voting. Now the issue was because really those 3 areas were predominantly historic minority neighborhoods where a lot of the minority vote came from. So it's like, okay, they were old. They were much older. That was their closest one. I saw the issues with it, but then I also spoke with a buddy of mine who works within the system. He's like, hey, look, it costs a lot to keep those up. So if it's a low voting turnout, yeah, it's costing money. But in my mind, I'm like, well, hey, it's still voting. I mean, in all reality, when it comes to these votes, not the whole city ever comes out to vote 24/7. So I was like, I was always back and forth with it, but to side what you were saying as far as the cost of those 45 days, I could imagine the price is extremely it's costly. It's costly for the cities.
Anybody that says they want 45 days of in-person early voting is not a fiscal conservative. And I'm not even saying that as like they're not a Republican. No, they're not fiscally responsible with our tax dollars. Like it's ridiculous. Though I stand out. Same with last year. This primary, I'm standing out every day at Virginia's early voting for Eddie Garcia. I told him I give him my most valuable thing I can give you is my time, my effort, and my reputation. You know, I'm campaigning at the same time as I'm handing his stuff out. People are seeing me, but it's hard. No campaign, unless they have people like me, can stand out there all day long for 45 days. I give 9 hours for 45 days for free. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday from 8 to 5. I stand out there. If it's raining, I might go home a little early, you know. But even if it's only 33 people show up to vote that day.
Yeah.
You know, but that's what it should be. That's where the candidate should be. There, I'm out there even if it's only 33 people that walk by, 33 of my voters that are motivated to vote early see me out there trying, and I will answer more of their questions and my questions. You got a question for me? Yeah, I'm the Emu Guy. Yeah, I'm the independent. Ask me away. Ask any question you want. I'm an open book.
There's a buddy of mine, which you know, well, Cash Green, Calvin Green.
Yep. I don't have it signed, but he gets my help too.
he's running for council, and we were just having a conversation, and he just said, a big learning experience that has been helping him was just the constant door knocking, which I always say is grassroots stuff, man. Just door knocking 24/7. Really going to the people and not having the people come to you. If you go to the people, trust and believe, that will help, because again, a lot of these residents don't even know who the hell is running if they're not in their faces,
or they've never had a representative come up and shake their hand.
Very, very true. Very true.
Going on Cash, I can't say too much. I do not work for Cash or represent Cash. That's why I don't have a sign yet. There's still a little bit going on. I know from being on there, I know he got the Republican nod. I know he doesn't have much money to run, but having the party, they want you to pay one of their operatives to run your campaign. And it's a drain. I luckily had a friend running my campaign for me for free. That way I could have a second person. We are doing it to get our name out. But a lot of these operatives charge like $3,000 a month from each of the candidate. Where do you think that money comes from? Either I know my former opponent, I won't say his name, but he had to put $27,000 of his own money into his account just to pay for the operatives.
Wow.
Because they didn't know if they were going to get any more money. But like, what did they do? Anything those operatives do, you can do as the candidate. I want somebody with the time and the ability to do everything. I didn't pay a single person. I ran my whole campaign on $3,000, and I ran a state campaign for a delegate, not just city council. I had a larger area, but all it really cost was signs, some meetings. I did have to pay $25, $50 dinner to get into the people all the time. But there shouldn't.
Was the food at least good? Was the food?
Hell no. All the food always sucks. Damn, I mean,
canned vegetables, maybe like a meatloaf.
I'm done going to breakfasts at Golden Corral and crap like that.
Let me tell you something. I with you on that, man. I'm with you on that.
That's why. All right. So for my Libertarian Party of Hampton Roads, I am at large representative of that. James St. John, you talked to him a little bit. He is the chairperson of it, so he can speak a little bit better on LPHR. I am Congressional District 2's vice chair, so I can speak better for the district. But we throw LPHR's Sunday socials at my house, the third Sunday of every month at my personal residence. I buy a couple boxes of wine, and I normally roast a pig or something like that. I mean, I can even make steaks for everybody that intends in my backyard on my grill, cheaper than renting a venue out to do. And I'm willing to have anybody that wants to come and try and earn LPHR's endorsement. You can't be a Democrat or Republican right now. I'm still working on being able to endorse the best person for the job, even if they have an R or D next to their name. But right now, if you're running in an independent race, come meet us. We want to meet you. We want you to meet the people. We're still growing. Our first meeting had 7 people. Our last one had 45. I'm hoping to have 60, 70. I'm allowed to have as many people in my house constitutionally protected as a political gathering. That is a constitutional right for us to gather and talk politics. We do the 3 hours, 6 to 9, the 3rd Sunday of every month. The first 2 hours is for everybody to socialize and mingle. If you like some random beer, bring it yourself, please. I'm not buying Bud Light, Michelob, Coors. I'm going to provide you wine, weed, and food. You can
what about a Colt? What about a Colt 45? That's not too bad.
Bring it yourself. Bring it yourself. I'm not getting into the beer game. There's a million beers and nobody likes the same damn beer. At least with wine, it's red or white.
That's right. That's very true. That's very true.
Red, and we're gonna serve.
You know what's funny, man? Because the joke more about the food choice, and then I want to kind of just talk a little bit more about Garcia. I had it was a long time ago. I had interviewed Bill Curtis. Bill Curtis at the time was the chair for the Virginia Beach Republican Party, and I messed with him. I said, "Look, Bill, y'all got to do something about those. I hear y'all meet every time at Golden Corral, man. That's disgusting." Okay, I'm like, even as a kid, I'm sorry, I never liked Golden Corral. It's just, I'm not crazy about buffets, man, but it had the carpet smell. Like, I always never liked Golden Corral with the passion. Then when a buddy of mine who's a Republican, he said, "Yeah, we go to a Republican like breakfast every Saturday or every other Saturday at Golden Corral." I'm just like, oh, I'm like, Golden Corral? Like, you might as well just go to CC's Pizza or something. Like,
so, on an insider note, that Golden Corral thing here, it still happens every Saturday. It is no longer RPVB, no longer Republican Party of Virginia Beach. It is now a Republican Club of Virginia Beach.
Oh, man,
the RP, if you show up, the RPVB banner is no longer, since the voting and the switching of the heads, that is no longer an official Republican meeting. They don't do one anymore. But there's so much infighting in that. That's the problem with those parties, is majority of the people that ran that party weren't even involved in it. They were just like super secretaries and shit like that. Like, you never were elected. Just because you took every piece of paper that came in doesn't mean you're anybody in this party. You're a glorified secretary. You are not a power broker, a power maker, or anything. And when my friend Laura Hughes, who I wanted to vote for, but they banned me from the voting booth. I have the video, but I forced my way through and voted. They're like, "You're not allowed to vote here." I said, "Really? A flyer says open to all registered voters of Virginia Beach." So then Laura Hughes won, and I think it's a better party. I can work with her. Me and Bill Curtis through a proxy are getting better.
Okay.
With how my last thing, Bruce Meyer and Bill Curtis and Dennis Free. I don't like Dennis Free at all. I wish he got replaced. He is part of the problem in Virginia politics. If you're a Republican and you don't like the way things are going, Dennis Free is who to blame, because he is me just for the Republican Party. He's Congressional District 2's chairperson, and he's bought and paid for and is a good old boy. Laura Hughes came in and won with the grassroots movement, and I trust her. I can have a dialogue. If I, as a representative of the Libertarian Party, have a concern, I can call Laura Hughes and she will take my phone call. She might take it with a grain of salt, but she'll still take my phone call. The other ones wouldn't. They didn't want the competition. The newer version that's growing up in here is willing to, okay, we don't have candidates. My Libertarian Party doesn't have candidates for every race yet. So we do have to piggyback and put our name on people that we believe. Not every R is going to get our backing. Like, oh, you're just going to endorse all the Republicans.
I was just about to ask, have y'all
Kagan will never get the Libertarians endorsement because she is not a fiscal conservative. First off, we want you to treat our money right, and she sucks at managing our money.
I was going to ask, has the Libertarian have you been in conversation with anybody on the left, or any
I've slowly been doing it. It's harder. Conrad has been helping me a lot. Like I said, I have a good relationship. He's been helping. Conrad invited you to reach out and bring some people to my last meeting, correct?
Yes.
I do not have the most. They aren't willing to just take me at face value when I talk to them right now. They still remember me running as the independent, and I'm not one of them. But no, this is me right now. Open call to all Democrats. Come to our meetings. We represent the we do. Like we got 40%. We got 20% of y'all and 20% of the Republican. Actually, like our stance a little bit better than your both sides. You know, come to us, talk to us. We might not agree on everything, but we won't get better until we start having a dialogue. Think of the Libertarian Party as the therapist to the husband and wife of the two maids. I mean, because, all right, going back, before we get to Garcia, I'm remembering all of our steps. I've been taking notes. So going back, we offer everybody to come and just meet us and talk to us and earn our thing. We will put you through the smell test, but depending on what you're running for, half of these things don't apply. You get what it's like? You're not going to take my guns as school board. You're not going to take my guns as Chesapeake City Council. Well, you're not going to declare war on Zimbabwe from any of the local levels. You know, like we need to come and just start talking and getting to common ground. Please, Saturday or Sunday, the third Sunday of every month, 6 to 9, the first 2 hours are social. We're doing the most dangerous thing ever. We're mixing alcohol and politics, and it's working. But the last hour. Wait,
did you say twerking?
It's working. It's working.
Oh, working. Oh, I thought you said twerking. I'm like, wait a minute. Alcohol, politics, and twerking. I'm like,
hey, I mean, only if you come, buddy. Only if you come. I think you could probably twerk better. I'm a white boy. I suffer from white boy syndrome.
You don't, look, let me tell you something. You don't. Yeah, my wife might like me twerking, but no, she's the only person that gets to see that.
Hey, we might get some viewerships up, you know. But,
I know, so, right?
Like I said, first 2 hours is us just socializing, eating. Ask all the candidates your questions during the first 2 hours. The last hour, we let every candidate that comes speak. We record it right now, but we don't post it. We record it to show all of our Libertarian members. Right now in Virginia Beach, we currently have 125. I've never let any one of them pay a dues yet. You can join our party, but I don't want dues. I am paying out of all of this. It's coming out of my pocket because I don't want anyone to have a favor owed. You know, I will waste my money to make a better union here locally. And for the last hour, speak your truth. We'll give every candidate 5 minutes to address everybody. No questions, because you should have gotten your questions to the candidate in your mingling and networking. I want people to understand that we're all humans. You know, come. Me, I want a Democratic opponent and a Republican opponent to actually talk, maybe in the side corner of my yard, but talk off the record. Do you get what I'm saying? Come here and actually talk. When's the last time you think the opponents talk?
Never.
I want to create that world, and then
they talk for during the attack ads. That's how they talk.
Yeah, right now we're recording it. Getting all of my Libertarians in the same room together is so hard. We're the worst people ever to try and bunch up together. You get what I'm saying? But we can record it and share it with us privately. It doesn't go out. Say what you want. Right now, it's going just to our 125 Virginia Beach members. I'd like more people to sign up for our mailing address from Portsmouth, Newport News, Hampton. We do have a Peninsula Libertarian Party. So we're trying not to step on their toes all the way over there. But if you're on the South Side and you want to be in politics, come talk to me. I'll give you a path for it. I don't even need to like your message, but I'll still give you a platform. The hardest thing is to find a platform. I had to go piggyback on everybody's platform, and some of them would like snicker while I was talking to this guy's a socialist. You've known me long enough. Would you ever describe me as a socialist?
No.
But people having these like things is like, oh, this guy's a socialist.
The one thing that you said, Nick, man, is conversation, and that's one thing why I think a lot of young people do consider, and I kind of always use the example for the presidential race, on RFK, just because, hey, look, you've seen him on the far right outlets, conservative outlets. You've seen him on, kind of center mass outlets. You've seen him on strong liberal and far left outlets. Like, you've seen him on everything. Why? Because he's an easy guy to, have a conversation. He does a lot of podcasting that might not have, kind of left leaning independence. Because even though he's been an independent for since he ran, but he still holds Democratic values, just maybe not as, maybe more moderate, not as.
I just don't trust him with my guns. Look at how many of his family members have been shot by guns. I do not trust him with my guns. So on RFK, we have RFK's head of the campaign in Virginia Beach attend every one of my meetings. The person that runs the super PAC for RFK attends all of our meetings. We're trying to get RFK here. Once again, I don't trust him because I think he'll take my guns.
Yep.
But once again, now we're on federal level. That's why I don't care about it. Gums the water going all the way up there. I'm focused on South Side.
Yeah. Well, I brought him up as far as an example of as far as like the conversation piece, because he's he's an individual that has, like most people that are on certain sides of the aisle, will not speak with this group and with that group. So far, I've seen him really put it out there and mix. Even with his campaign, he has people that work within that has worked with all sides of the aisle. Hey, look, we're in here. So conversation is always key. Conversation is always key.
With that being said, do you know the National Libertarian Party? We are having the 25th Memorial Day weekend, Thursday through Sunday. We are having our national convention up in Washington, D.C.'s National Convention Center. We sent an open letter to RFK, Biden, and Trump, inviting them to come address us and try and earn some of our supports. In 2 hours of receiving the email, Trump sent back, I'm in. Trump is
I saw it on social media.
He is coming, like it's torn our national libertarian apart. There's blue libertarians and red libertarians. But hey, he's speaking at our convention closes at 9, and he goes on stage at 9:01. So he's just using but this is the first time, say what you want, whether you're a Trump supporter or not. It's the first time our national libertarian convention's ever going to get press coverage. Do you think they're going to skip that? CNN, MSNBC, Fox News is asking for conference rooms at our convention now. Never before. Never before. To the half of the libertarians saying no, cancel his request. Well, that makes you a shitty host. You sent out the invitation, then you reneged it. That makes you a shitty host. And secondly, sit down, boomer. Y'all failed to get national attention. All we did was invite a former president to see if he wanted to, and he said yes within an hour. Sit down, boomers. Let the younger generation lead this. You don't have to vote for the dude. You can boo him from the audience.
That's
but we've got Timcast IRL. You know Timcast?
The name sounds familiar. The name sounds very familiar.
Independent journalist in media like you. YouTube.
Yes.
Always wears the beanie. Always wears the beanie.
Yes.
Dude, he's doing Timcast IRL from one of our conference rooms at our Libertarian convention because Trump's coming. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, shut up, boomers, and let us run this.
Well, I mean, that's going to be one of many. I mean, I already know it's probably going to be tons and tons. I mean, like you already mentioned,
Steven Crowder might come. Like, the people that support Trump are coming because Trump's coming, which means they're actually going to pay attention to our message this time. Yeah, they're coming for Trump, but they're not just setting up for a 30, 45-minute speech. They're setting up for the whole weekend, and they're going to cover us and listen to us. When have the boomers that disagree with what's going on ever got this attention? The Libertarian Party started in 1974, I believe, and we ain't never had a media coverage at our conference. We're going to be the talk of the town. We didn't sell out. We had rooms available. Guess what? The moment we announced Trump was going to attend, all of the hotels sold out. Good luck if you didn't get your booking yet.
Yep. I mean, but what you're saying is absolutely true, because in order to have that message continue to, because I remember watching there was a presidential debate that had, I'm gonna say, like 6 or 7 third party candidates. 2 of them were libertarian, Chase Oliver being one of them. And there was another
probably going to get the nomination this year, from just me knowing what I know and hear from I can't say because I don't know the 49 other states. The people of Virginia like Chase Oliver, but he's not going to beat Trump, yo. like Biden's not going to beat Trump. Chase Oliver's not going to beat Trump. JFK's not. You can add all of their grand totals together, and they ain't going to beat Trump. Like, Trump got a train going right now. Trump's winning Latinos. He's winning blacks. He's winning everybody right now. If you deny it, you're just not really listening to interviews of street people. You're listening to mainstream media. Go watch people interviewing people in the street. They are all on the Trump train. Wait till he just starts giving away his free signs. They're going to be everywhere. They're going to be in the ghettos. They're going to be in the mansions. They're going to be everywhere because people have realized they were better off under him. I don't know what Chase Oliver presidency would look like, but I was well off during the last Trump one. Weren't you? You had all your bills paid. You were fat and happy at the grocery store for under $100. Your tank didn't cost $50 to fill up. We weren't on the brink of World War III. They all said, oh, he's going to cause World War III. No, look who's causing that shit now. Like, come on. You don't say that shit now while we're on the brink of it.
Let's go ahead and move it on to Garcia, man. Before
all right, look, I love that. Let me start off. I love that man. I met him. My Libertarian. We're trying to get our name out where we got all of our things. We're at the gun shows because guns are like the Bible cornerstone of libertarianism. Being able to be free and doing what you want and protecting and having what you please. I met that dude at almost every gun show we went to. He's trying to talk to everybody. When the downsides of the gun shows were happening, I got a chance to talk to him. He won me over. I think he would actually win as a libertarian. I honestly do. He's all for the farmers. Nobody is talking about farmers. Well, guess what? Without farmers, we don't eat. All of his other opponents are lawyers. They don't know shit about the real world. They've worn a suit for the past 20, 30 years rode an elevator up in their office. You get what I'm saying? Garcia for the past 25 years was being shot at and shooting at people in the army. Like, he wants to come serve us, not Northern Virginia. If you notice, it's only been Emord and Garcia that ever comes down to this area. Everybody else is going to rely on Northern Virginia pulling them through the primary because that's all the other pretendo Republicans up there.
I'm looking at his platform right now. Pretty sharp, man. Pretty sharp. Well, look, Nick, we could talk for hours, man. Look, don't go anywhere because I know we're going to chop it just for a few more minutes, man. But look, I want to thank you so much again, taking the time out your schedule. Always great to talk with you. You're going to be on many more times because, like I said, this year, this is 2024 election season. We got some big elections happening in the local areas here in Hampton Roads and all the 7 cities, of course, on the state level as well. And, on the federal, we have so much great stuff happening. And I always love to give your insight, get your side of things, especially now, being a part of the local Libertarian Party. So I always want to get your insights with that as well. And always enjoy the conversation, my man. Look, for more information about, for people that maybe want to join or want to participate in the Libertarian Party, the local Libertarian Party in the Hampton Roads, how can they do so? How can they find out about up and coming stuff and events and things like that?
Right now, you can go to Facebook. We're building our websites. Like I said, we're in a brand new rebuilding. We dissolved the Libertarian Party of Virginia in 2022, and this is what you're getting out of it was so bad and taken over by bad actors that it was easier just to dissolve it and start it back up. So we are the new growth. We're still learning our strides. You can find us on Facebook at Libertarian Party of Hampton Roads. That's where we share our events, which are just at my house, or you can follow me, Nicholas Olenik, on Facebook. I accept almost everybody. If you look like a bot, I'm denying your friend request. If you're just like some half-naked girl, like, hey, you want to go get no. But if you actually have a profile, I'll accept you, and you are invited. I share openly all of this. I want it to be a party of the people. You don't have to be Libertarian. You don't have to be Republican or Democrat. You can hate politics and just come tell us we all suck. We want to hear from you, so follow me, Nicholas Olenik, on Facebook, or Olenik for Independence, even though I do not share fully libertarian stuff on that. I just share my political thoughts. But Nicholas Olenik on Facebook, NSO23464. I noticed it's spelled wrong in the bottom. The at NSO23464 is my Facebook, or Libertarian Party of Hampton Roads. We're building our website. Next time I'm on, we should have a lot better, where I can tell you to go to this website to follow us completely. But we're building it from the ground up. We're not asking you for money. We're asking for your time and for your opinion.
Awesome, man. Love it, dude. Hey, look, don't go anywhere, my man. We'll talk for a few more minutes, but look, let me go ahead and send you on backstage. Ladies and gents, again, the one and only, the Emu Guy, Mr. Nicholas Olenik. Weed wine keeps you fine. Weed wine keeps you fine. Look, ladies and gents, what an awesome conversation again. That's my main man, Mr. Nicholas Olenik. Always a great time to have a conversation with him. Like I said, whenever we talk, you learn something every time. It's always great to just have conversation in general. But when it's talking about, on the local level, state, all that great stuff, it's just always good to see something, to hear from somebody that, hey, at the end of the day, look, we just want to have a conversation. We're for the people. We're not for the whole corporate, typical BS that you see going on. And it's refreshing having those conversations with people, because guess what? That's the future, y'all, when it comes to politics, especially for you young people. I know the ones that tune into this show, a lot of people are young, that are maybe up and coming voters. You might, you probably not registered, or you just, you choose not to vote because you're like, well, look, they're just a line in their pocket. They don't abide what they go. It's a lot of unmade promises, blase. Look, I understand it can be stressful, it can be annoying, but at the end of the day, look, we just hope to give you a breath of fresh air avenue where to, just to listen, hear our thoughts, hear our views, and then you can do the same with yours by doing your own research when it comes to, whoever's running in your backyard and, on the higher ups in politics, man. But again, thank you for tuning into the Arrington Gavin Show. Be sure to tune in every Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time via podcast, or wherever you listen to your podcast, whether that's iHeart, Spotify, Apple, Stitcher, Google, you name it. Hey, look, please give us 5 stars. Leave a give us 5 stars on our podcast platforms. Now, if you prefer to watch the video version of this podcast, you can do so on R Smooth Club Media. So the letter R and then Smooth Club Media on Facebook, on YouTube. Having a brain fart there. R Smooth Club Media on YouTube. Subscribe, hit the like button, all that great stuff. Also Rumble at the Arrington Gavin Show. R Smooth Club Podcast on Facebook, as well as RSC Media or R Smooth Club Media on X. And then don't forget, you can follow us on social media on Instagram at R Smooth Club Media. My personal Instagram is Arrington Gavin, and you can check out reruns of this show every Saturdays and Sundays at 7 p.m. on ESPTV on Facebook, as well as ErnestSmithProductions.com online at 7 p.m. on those days. And lastly, I got a lot of shit to tell y'all at the end of every show. Lastly, Sundays, check out my weekly radio show in your city, which airs at noon on WNSB 91.1 FM, The Soul of VA. I host it along with my friends, comedian Ciroc Fox and Hustle Queen Miss Michelle Young. We discuss entertainment talk, music as well. We have a great time doing that. If you're not in the Hampton Roads area, you can download their app. Their WSB app is free, or you can listen online at WSB.org on Sundays at noon. And yes, that's all I got for you. But look, I got some more stuff in stores for you, man. The shows continue to grow. I'm excited what's happening in the future. We're gonna have some more amazing guests. Sometimes it's gonna be me and you just having a conversation, but I truly appreciate the support and you tuning in at those days. So until next time, my friends, y'all be easy, stay blessed. I'll see y'all next time. I'm out.